Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and I'm here with my October book haul. Okay, so first off, I got the second and the third volume of Chew, which is by John Layman and Rob Guillory. I really like the first one of these. I gave it 5 stars. Right, basically, it's about a guy, this guy, and he can feel the emotions of food. So if he eats the food, he can feel what happened to it when it was picked or killed, whether it was vegetables or meat, obviously. He eats something and he finds out that it had a bit of somebody's blood in and they killed some people. So it turns into a crime mystery where he has to become a little bit of a cannibal and help solve murders and solve mysteries. I read the second one, I give it 4. Really good. It just didn't hit me as much as the first one, but it's still really good. They're really quite expensive, graphic novels are in general, so I always buy mine second hand. And look, these are off eBay and perfect. It's definitely worth checking out second hand if you want to buy anything. Also off eBay, I got the third volume of Death Note by, this is going to be a mouthful, Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Ohba. I'm sure most people have heard of Death Note. Basically about this guy who finds a notebook, and if you write people's names in it, you kill them. I've read the first volume of this. I've got the second, obviously, and this is the third. There's a charity shop near me called Bernardo's, and they do 4 books for $1.99, so I go in there a lot. And I picked up 4 books from there. The first one, if anybody's seen my spookathon, they would have seen this book already, and that's Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I saw this one first and foremost, and that's why I decided to get the other 3, because I wanted to buy this. And obviously, why buy 1 book for £1 when you can get 4 for £2? This, as I'm sure most people know, is about a vampire who's doing an interview. It basically goes into his life, how he got turned, what happened throughout the years after that. The second book I got in the 4 for $1.99 was My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I've seen the film of this, so I really wanted to pick up the book because books are generally better than the films, am I right? This one, if the film is 100% right in where it went, is about a girl who was basically born so she could be spare parts for a sister who was ill. I know that's probably a bit too much of a black and white rather than the grey area of what this book is about, but I've not read it yet, so I don't want to say too much in case it's wrong. The third book I got in the 4 for $1.99 was Disclaimer by Rennie Knight. I don't really know anything about this. It just kind of jumped out at me. I'll read the little bit on the back because it's not very long. It says, when an intriguing novel appears on Catherine's bedside table, she curls up and begins to read. But as she turns the pages, she is horrified to realise she is the key character and main player. The story will reveal her darkest secret, a secret she thought no one else knew. So yeah, that definitely grabbed my attention, so hopefully that's a good read. Okay, and lastly, I was having a look at all the books, nothing really jumped out at me too much, but I thought rather than getting 1 book for the 50p, you know, 4 for $1.99, 50p each, I thought why not get 3? So I've got the Bourne trilogy by Robert Ludlum. I don't know when I'm going to get to this. I'm sure everybody's heard of the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy, the Bourne Ultimatum, because there were them films with Matt Damon in a few years ago. But I thought why not. Next up, on that same day, it was payday. That's my only excuse. I picked up 5 books from other charity shops. I got The Grimm Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. It's all the fairy tales, but the original stories of them. So this is interesting. A lot of them are only a few pages long, but it'll be nice to see where they all came from and the proper story behind them, instead of the nice Disney-fied story that we normally hear. I also got Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I'm really interested in reading these. Everybody knows the story of Alice in Wonderland, but I've never actually read them, and they're only 99p, so why not? I got book 1, which is The Bad Beginning of a Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. Cece over at Problems of a Book Nerd talks about these a lot, so that's kind of what got me into wanting to read them. I have all of the books apart from 8 and 11 now, because I've just been picking them up whenever I can find them for cheap. So I'm looking forward to getting the last 2 of those. This is a book that everybody has probably already read before, and I have now because I read it this month. A Corn of Thoughts and Roses. Thoughts? A corn. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. This is another one I've seen a lot on BookTube, but I never really knew whether I wanted to pick it up. But it was 99p. Look, perfect condition. So I thought, why not? And I read it. I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the second one. And if you don't already know, which I'm sure you probably do, this is about a girl and her family, and also about fairies. The world is split in 2. Humans get a really small part of it. Fairies get a massive part because we used to be their slaves. And it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so you can kind of gather where it will go with that. And even though I'm not really too interested in lovey-dovey smushy mushy stuff, I actually really enjoyed this. Next up, I got the last book in The Heroes of Olympus, The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I'm sure most people know what Rick Riordan writes about. He writes about Greek mythology, and in this also Roman mythology. I'm really enjoying this. These books still have Percy Jackson in, but he's not the main character like the Percy Jackson series. It has a lot of really cool characters. Don't want to say too much about the book because obviously this is the last one, but really enjoying it. I've got about 100 pages left, I think, so let's see how it ends. Right, next up, I was randomly walking through the market a few days ago and I saw these. I have the first book, is the second, fourth and fifth, so I still need the third, and that is Zombie Underground, Zombie Angels, Zombie Baby, all by Darren Shan. I love Darren Shan. But I got the first one of these and then I must have been reading other stuff, never got around to carrying it on. And I got these 3 for £4, so I thought, why not? I really do want to read these because I love Darren Shan. I want to read everything he's ever written. So I'm glad I've got these. These next 2 I got for my birthday. I've been wanting to read these for so long. And that is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera and Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg. I've read Openly Straight, really enjoyed it. I cried a little bit. Not yet read More Happy Than Not because I was a little bit scared that it might destroy my soul. I mean, the tagline is happiness shouldn't be this hard. That kind of tells you where it's going. But I'm definitely going to read this next month. I can't wait. So Openly Straight is about a guy that's come out of the closet for quite a few years, and when he moves to a new school he doesn't want anybody to just see him as the label, so he doesn't tell anybody that he's gay, and it's just his life at the school, his friends, how he feels. Is he lying to people? Is he just withholding the truth? There's a lot of that, and great friendships in this book. And I'm not 100% sure what More Happy Than Not is about because I like to go into it not knowing. Also, it's so weird because I've never had one of these books with a random bit of it cut off before. What's that all about? I've seen it a lot on BookTube, but I thought it was an American thing. So that's weird. So I got all of these books myself because I absolutely love this author and I want to read all of his books, and that is Ghost Medicine, In the Path of Fallen Objects, Stick, The Marbury Lens, and they're all by Andrew Smith. I've read 5 Andrew Smith books and I absolutely love him, so I want to read all of his books, as I say. Most people will know him as the author of Winger and Standoff and Grasshopper Jungle. They're his most famous books. All of these books I got secondhand. It's kind of hard to find all of these old books now, but as you can see, they're all pretty good quality, so you should never be scared to buy secondhand. And finally, for the books in this haul, I went to Nottingham Comic Con and I bought a few things. First of all, I got Kingsman: Secret Service by Mark Miller, Dave Gibbons and Matthew Vaughn. I really didn't like the fact this is the film cover, but it was only £5, so I can't be too annoyed. It's about this kid that goes into training to become a spy, basically. Looking forward to reading this. I've been wanting to read this a while, so I'm glad I found it for £5. Next up, I picked up Lenore by Roman Dirge. This one's called Wedges. I've never read any Lenore before, but I've heard a lot of good things. This girl called Lenore, and she's dead, and it's her life, trials and tribulations. I'm not 100% sure, but it was only £3, so, and I've heard a lot about it, so I thought I might as well pick it up. The next one I got was Long Gone Dawn by the Etherington brothers. Now this was a random pickup, I've never heard of it before, but the Etherington brothers were there at the con and they had a table there, and I got talking to them and it sounded really interesting, this graphic novel did. It's one of those ones like Asterix and Obelix, so it's for kids but also grown-ups can enjoy it. And because they were there, I got it signed, so that's always awesome. And also Lorenzo, the illustrator, drew a little picture of this green guy here. They did say his name, but I can't remember it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. The next thing I picked up was this really cute pin. This is by Rachel Smith. The little cat's called Flimsy. I just thought this was adorable. It's a cat reading. Like, as if I was not going to pick it up. Come on, guys. I just think this is super cute, and I don't even know where I'm going to put him yet because there's just too many options, but I will find a great place for him and then he'll have a home. So I grabbed a couple of bookmarks, MrBrownComics.com. So there's Nottingham Comic Convention. Also guys, if you're ever at a con, you should definitely always pick up the business cards or flyers of the illustrators, the artists, the everybody. Here are a lot of things I picked up. Got all of these business cards, I got some flyers, I got some more flyers, and then I got a whole heap of more business cards. But yeah, you should definitely take people's business cards, that's what they have them for. They really appreciate it. It shows that you're interested in their work. It shows that you have a way to contact them if you ever remember something or want to buy something you couldn't afford on the day. You should definitely support artists, indie labels. You should support everybody that's trying to do something for themselves. I went into Forbidden Planet and they had a big stack of free comics. So I picked up 8 of them. And it was really weird. They were right near the door. It said, "These comics are free, please take them." I felt like I was stealing, just picking stuff up and putting in my bag and then leaving. Aspen Universe, Action Lab Presents, and then at the bottom it's featuring quite a few different artists, a few pages of different comics. Got the Evil Dead 2, Spidey, Spider-Man, Three Stooges, which is really weird, I never know there was a comic for them. There's one called Quilt, Haunted Mansion, and then I have Kitaro, which is backwards like a manga. It's always nice to get free things, even if it feels like you're stealing. What's as important as reading, I will tell you. Tea. This is the 3rd time I've got one of these. 1,200 bags of tea. Also, because I'm a photographer, I don't really have anything fun and quirky that shows I'm a photographer. So I found these on eBay and got 2. Look how cute they are. They have a button and they flash. How cute does it look against my camera? This is a camera that I normally use for photographing. If anybody cares, 6D, and I filmed these on my old 550D because it felt obsolete, so I thought I might as well start using it again for filming. Also, I picked up these 2 candles. I got a candy corn one. It says Halloween, but it's got candy corn in it. I didn't even know what these were until this year. It must be an American thing because I've never heard of candy corn before in my life. And I also got a gingerbread one, which is more Christmassy. And this smells so good. I've used so much already, I just have it on all the time. These are only 69p each. I had to get them. Alright guys, so that's the end of my haul. It was really big, I'm sorry about that. But I know a lot of people like looking at hauls that are really long. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment what you got this month, or whether you've read the books that I've got, whether you want to read any of the books I got. Bye! Stop being boring, get over there and be cute.